Part 5. They don't play nicely with other people. In a survey run by Business Brilliant, author Lewis Schiff, 9 out of 10 self-made millionaires agreed that it is important in negotiations to exploit the weaknesses in others. Joel Brown. Are they psychos? Disturbingly, the uber-successful, with some notable exceptions such as Sir Richard Branson, have at least 2 traits in common with sociopaths. A lack of empathy towards other people, the propensity to manipulate and use other people in order to advance themselves and their own objectives. There seems to be a general consensus on the internet that high on the preferred careers of sociopaths are CEO and lawyer. These are both career paths that can lead to uber success. Although I have my suspicions, I cannot make a definitive call as to whether the uber successful are mostly also sociopaths. As this is above my pay grade, I will present the evidence that is available in the public domain and let you decide for yourself. The Four Horsemen. Donald Trump. From the wealth of information and views available, one aspect of his alleged conduct in the business sphere is particularly galling, and that is his pattern of leaving small businesses in the lurch. Following a lengthy investigation into decades of shady business practices by President Donald Trump and his companies, USA Today concluded that dozens of small businesses have been underpaid, paid late, or not paid at all for their work. This is not to mention Trump's habit of filing for bankruptcy, leaving a wake of destruction behind him. Writing on 𝐸.com, Jessica Stillman says that Trump defends his history of payment disputes as simply the expected cost of being a tough negotiator in a cutthroat business. Henry Ford. It is a great shame that Henry Ford, who contributed so much to changing the world, besmirched his reputation and legacy by brutally opposing his workers' labor rights. According to carthrottle.com, Ford personally ordered his servicemen, or personal mafia, to open fire at the approximately 5,000 protesters who intended to present a list of demands to Ford. The demands included the rehiring of the unemployed. The march took place in 1932, during the Great Depression. Provide funds for healthcare and racial discrimination in hiring and promotions, and give workers the right to organize unions. 4 workers were shot dead by the servicemen and the police officers who accompanied them. Scores more workers were wounded or otherwise injured. Steve Jobs. Another icon who reportedly had a bad track record in the people skills department is technology giant Steve Jobs. When interviewed by Inc.com, Sir Richard Branson said of Jobs that he micromanaged every little single detail, from media releases to product development and design, and that he was also known for his brusque behavior with employees, as reported on BusinessInsider.com. Jobs has also been criticized for his superior attitude, taking credit away from his subordinates, firing employees in fits of anger, and parking his Mercedes in handicapped spaces. Marcus 𝐦𝐤𝐬. South Africa's Marcus 𝐦𝐤𝐬 managed almost single-handedly to wipe billions of dollars off shareholder value off stock exchanges around the world, while at the helm of Steinhoff International Holdings. Rob Rose comes perilously close to labeling him as a sociopath in his book, Steinheist, Marcus 𝐦𝐤𝐬, Steinhoff and SA's biggest corporate fraud, but possibly in the knowledge that the law is the last refuge of scoundrels, stopped just short of doing so. An example of how 𝐦𝐤𝐬 treated his subordinates is recorded in a piece titled "The Seagull's Name Was Marcus 𝐦𝐤𝐬, Steinhoff and the Stellenbosch Mafia" on HuffingtonPost.com. 𝐦𝐤𝐬 once subjecting an MD of one of the Steinhoff companies to a humiliating public tirade, after which he told the MD to get out of my effing factory. Outstanding exceptions. World exclusive. Sir Richard Branson. In refreshing contrast, Sir Richard Branson walks the walk as far as caring for people and employees is concerned. A Virgin Atlantic limousine driver tells this story to illustrate why it is that Branson is so well liked. One freezing cold night, the driver had chauffeured Branson to a meeting with some bigwigs in the city. While he and the other limo drivers were standing around out in the cold, in the street, waiting for the meeting to end, and chatting amongst themselves, Branson emerged from the front door of the building, where the meeting was being held. He was holding a tray laden with snacks and steaming mugs of coffee and cocoa. He asked them, "Are you chaps all right?" This story says more about management style than any case study taught at the business schools. Warren Buffett. In the book Good to Great, Jim Collins observes that great companies have level 5 leaders. These are people who are humble, ambitious for the cause, but not themselves, and who accept the blame even if it lies elsewhere, while attributing the credit of success to the team. Pretty rare qualities in both life and business. I'm sure you agree. One such leader, identified by Brian Stoffel in an article on the Motley Fool's website, is Warren Buffett. He gives autonomy and praise to those surrounding him, and in 2008, when Berkshire stock lost 3% of its value, Buffett shouldered responsibility, saying, "I made some errors of omission, sucking my thumb when new facts came in that should have caused me to re-examine my thinking and promptly take action." A wake-up call to investors. Boards, shareholders, investors, and investment funds need to start taking a long-term view with regard to the type of executives that run the business they invest in order to safeguard their money, or that entrusted to them. They need to be able to identify and steer clear of those wunderkinds who appear to glitter with stellar results but leave a trail of destruction. They must instead seek out those leaders who truly care for their people and assure long-term value and sustainability. In short, they should heed Richard Branson's advice. Hire people who care about people.